Hello, welcome to this lesson, okay, where we continue to look at past exam papers. My name is Mbondo Bright Chaunga, a teacher at Nyumbanga Secondary School in Lusaka. We have this channel that provides mathematics from grade 8 up to 12, not only the revisions but the lessons, okay. We have taught the entire syllabus, okay. We have been taught the entire syllabus from grade 10 up to 12. We shall be soon also presenting lessons on grade 8 up to 10 week, grade 8 up to 9 week. So please, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, can you do so that we move on together? Each and every video that we upload, you should be able to watch it. Okay, so in this lesson, I'm going to present the whole paper. I'll present the whole paper, which is grade 12, paper 1 for November. Okay? That is what I'm going to do. Okay? That is what I'm going to do. So, let us start with question 1. Let's start with question 1. Okay, so we have 9 questions. After these questions, then we're going to go to the next part. Okay? Because my board could not accommodate all the questions. So we're doing them in parts, but don't worry, we're going to present everything at in this same lesson. Okay? So let's start. Simplify. 3x minus, open bracket, y minus 2x minus 3y. Okay? So how do we simplify this one? So what we are supposed to do here, because we don't have space, let me begin to get rid of these things that we already talked about. How do we simplify this one? We need to get rid of the brackets. So how do we get rid of the brackets? Here we're going to have 3x, then we distribute the negative here, which is like we have a minus 1 here. So we're going to have minus y plus 2x, okay? Then minus 3y here, okay? This is our 3y. Are we together? Then from this point, we put the like terms together. We put the like terms together, what are we going to have? We have 3x plus 2x minus y minus 4y. So these we can simplify them. Okay? We can simplify this. So the first ones, we're going to get 5x minus, this is a minus and this is a minus. Alright? Take note, this is minus 3 here. So this is going to give us minus 4y. We cannot go further because we can't simplify, we can't subtract unlike terms. Okay? We can't okay. So we continue. We come to the second one. Okay. We come to the second question. We come to the second question here, which is asking us to find the value. Evaluate is to find the value. Okay? Is to find the value. So that is what we want to do here. Now, on this part, so I'll be solving way upwards. Are we together? So you know that any base raised to 0 is equal to 1, except 0. So this is going to be 1. Okay? This part, it is going to give us what? 1. Plus, look at what we have here. We have a fraction, isn't it? And also, this side, we have a negative index. So what I easily advise students in order to avoid the issue of introducing a 1 and the like. When you have a fraction here as the base, and the index is a negative, you just swap these ones. When you swap these ones, then this one should become a positive. So here you're going to have 16 over 81. Then this one automatically becomes a positive. Okay? So after we have done that, we go on and find the fourth root. The fourth root of 16 and 81 plus 1. Okay? So the fourth root of 16 is 2. The fourth root of 16 is 2. Over the fourth root of 81 is 3 plus 1. Are we together? So now, when we get to that point, what we're supposed to do now is to add these ones. And I don't think at this point anyone would fail, because that becomes basic fraction. Okay? So we can have a 1 here over 3. What do we have? 3 into 3 is 1. 1 multiplied by 2 it would be 2. Plus 1 into 3 is 3 multiplied by 1 it's 3. So we're going to have 5 over 3. Okay? This is going to give us 1, 2 over 3. Okay? 1, 2 over 3. That is what is going to be our answer here. That is what is going to be our answer. Okay? So you need to make sure that you get the concept here. So we need to move on to question 3. We need to move on to question 3, and if there's any challenge, please, you need to make sure that you find a way to get in touch with us so that we clarify where issues are. So the third question is the gradient of the line joining the points negative 2k and k, 14 is 2. Find the value of k. Find the value of k. So how do we find the value of k? What we are supposed to do is we need to go to the formula for the gradient. So what is the formula for the gradient? Gradient is always denoted by the letter m. So we say y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I'm going to take you to these coordinates here. I'll bring you to these coordinates, okay? I'll bring you to these coordinates. These are the coordinates that we have here, okay? So we can call this one our y2, our x2. This one can be our y1, then this one can be our x2. This one can be our x2. What was here? Let me just confirm from the question paper. Was it 2 or 3? Okay, so this is 2 here. Okay, so this is our x1. So from this point now, we need to find the gradient. And the gradient has been given already here. So we know that our gradient, when we use this, our gradient should be 2, which has been given. So we're going to move on and say, what is our y2? Our y2 is negative 14. Our y2 is negative 14 minus, what is our y1? K over, what is our x2? Our x2 is k minus negative 2. Because of this minus and this minus, it is fair to just add here. Then this is going to give us a gradient of 2. This must give us a gradient of 2. This must give us a gradient of 2. So from there, we need to move on and find the value of k. So we cross multiply. When we cross multiply, we're going to have 2 multiplied by k plus 2. This is equal to negative 14 minus k. So we need to distribute here. We're going to have 2k plus 4 is equals to negative 14 minus k. So at this point, we put the like terms together. Okay? At this point, we need to put the like terms together. So meaning, we are going to have 3k, okay? We're going to have 3k, then this one, sorry, we're going to have 2k, then plus k is equals to minus 14. When this one goes the other side, it will be minus 4. So here we have 3k is equals to minus 18 or negative 18. So you divide both sides by 3. Both sides by 3. Our k is equals to negative 6. This is our k. Are we together? That is our k. So you have to make sure that you get the concept here. So we can move on to the next question. We can move on to the next question. Okay? We can move on to the next question. So we are factorizing completely. Factorize completely here. So the first thing that we do is to identify what is common here. A, we have A here. Y, we have Y here. Okay? So A, Y is common. We're using a common factor method of factorization. So what are we going to remain with here? Here you remain with x squared minus 4y squared. We have 1y is outside here. Alright? So we proceed now. We proceed and look at what we have in the bracket. We can use the difference of two squares here to factorize what is in the bracket. So we can go on and say ay and x squared minus 4 can be converted into 2 squared minus y squared. Then we have this x minus 2x squared. Okay, so this is a difference of two squares. This is a difference of two squares which we can further factorize as ay x plus 2y x minus 2y. And this is what is going to be our answer. This is what is going to be our answer. So we need to go to the fifth question. So the fifth question has the points. Okay, the points P and Q have coordinates 2, 4 and 2, 4. Okay, I then repeat it. Let me just confirm, just in case there is. Okay, this one is also repeated here. Okay. Yes. So have coordinates 2, 4 and negative 3, 1 respectively. Find express PQ as a vector column. So PQ can be found by PO, okay? PO plus OQ. Okay. So these are position vectors here. So we need to make sure that when you look at this one here, this goes with P. Are we together? This goes with P. So we need to come and say here, since this is one like OP, now when we are dealing with PO, we are going to have negative 2 and negative 4. Then plus this one, the other one will remain as it is. Okay? The other one is going to remain as it is. There's going to be negative 3 plus 1. Okay? So then we simplify this. This is going to give us negative 5. Then this one, when you add this, what do we get? Negative 3 plus 1. We are going to get negative 3. Okay? We are going to get negative 3. So we move on to the next question. Alright, so we move on to the next question, which is question 6. So question 6, we are shading. Okay? We are shading. B complement intersection. Okay? Let me look at what is in the question paper again. Possibly there is one. Okay, that is exactly the way it is. So first of all, we need to look at the intersection of these two sets. Okay? We need to look at the intersection of A and C. The intersection of A and C is this part here. This is the intersection of A and C. Okay? I'm shading the intersection of A and C. Now, when we say B complement, intersection B complement, okay, meaning minus the part that is in B. This other part is also found in B. So we need to remove this part. So what we are going to remain with is this part here. This is what we need to shade just. Okay? This is what we need to shade. So we move on to the seventh question. We move on to the seventh question. Okay? So the seventh question, we have the matrices here. A is given by this matrix and B is given by this matrix. So find a transpose of A. This is a transpose of A. So how do we find the transpose of A? That is what we're supposed to do. Okay? So we need to transpose A. The rows will become columns and columns will become rows. So transpose of A is going to be 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 0. Okay? That is what is going to be our transpose. So we have answered the first question. That is what is going to be our transpose. So now then we need to multiply A by B. We need to multiply A by B. So our A is 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 0. B is what? 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1, 0, 1, 0. Okay? So we start to multiply. As you may know that we multiply row by a column. We multiply row by a column. So row by this column. So we're going to start. 3 multiplied by 1, it is 3. Plus 2 multiplied by 3, it's 6. Plus 1 multiplied by 0, it's 0. We count the same row by the middle column. 3 multiplied by 2, it's 6. Plus 2 multiplied by 2, it's 4. 1 multiplied by 1, it's 1. And we come to the same row by the last column. 3 multiplied by 3, it's 9. Plus 2 multiplied by 1, it's 2. Plus 1 multiplied by 0, it's 0. Okay? Then we come to this one. 4 by 1, it's 4. Plus 3 by 3, it's 9. Plus 0 by 0, it's 0. Then here we come to 4 multiplied by 2, it's 8. Plus 3 multiplied by 2, it's 6. Then 0 multiplied by 1, it's 0. Then 4 multiplied by 3, it's 12. 3 multiplied by 1, it's 3. Plus 0 multiplied by 0, it's 0. Okay? Then we simplify this. We need to add. This is going to give us 9. This is going to give us what? 13. This is going to give us 11. This is going to give us 14. Okay? This is going to give us 14. Then this one is going to give us 11. And this one is going to give us 15. Okay? So this is what we are getting. And we move on to the 7th question. Okay? We move on to the 7th question. Which reads, for the sequence 25, 22, 19, 16, find the A formula for the nth term. Formula for the nth term. So the first thing that we're supposed to do there is to find the common difference. The common difference is very important. We need to make sure that we find the common difference. So how do we find the common difference? We need to, common difference is second term minus first term. Our second term is 22 minus the first term, which is 25. So our common difference is going to be equal to negative 3. That is our common difference. Are we together? Negative 3. So then we proceed and find the formula for the nth term. So the formula for the nth term is Tn is equals to A plus n minus 1d. A is the first term. What is our first term? 25 plus n minus 1. What is the common difference? The common difference here is what? Negative 3. So then we simplify this. So we're going to have 25 plus, if you like, minus 3n plus 3. okay, plus 3. So this is going to give us the same as a minus. So 25, you can add it to this one because they're like numbers. So we're going to have 28 minus 3n. Okay? 28 minus 3n. So then we proceed to the other one here, which is the sum, okay? The sum of the first 20 numbers. The sum of the first 20 numbers. How do we find it? The sum of the first 20 numbers. So we need to sum of the nth term is equal to n over 2n plus n minus 1 multiplied by b. Okay. So we want the sum of the first 20 numbers, meaning this is going to be 20 over 2 and 2a multiplied by 25. So we plus, what is our n here? Our n is 20. So we're going to have 20 minus 1, which is going to be 19, multiplied by the common difference, which is negative 3. So what do we get here? We're going to have 10, 50, okay, plus, what do we get here? 19 multiplied by 3, this gives us 27, isn't it? We're going to get 27, so we write our 27, then we have, this is going to give us, so we're going to have minus, so this is going to be a minus 57. Minus 57, so we have 10 multiplied by negative 7. This is going to give us negative 70. Okay? So now, I need to take you to question 9. Okay? And here it is incomplete. So just allow me to finish writing the questions that remain. I'll actually also put question 10 so that we can do the... Okay, so we continue with question 9. Okay, we continue with question 9. Term L is only 0 degrees and the 30 degrees west, which is its position. K is only on the equator and the longitude 60 degrees east. So the question we are answering is, if a radio quiz is scheduled to start at 12 hours at L, find the time at which the people at K will be listening to the quiz. So here what we're supposed to do is to find the degrees, okay? To find the difference in degrees here. So now, these two places, they are on a different sides of the Greenwich meridian. So we have the west and the east, so we need to add them. So when you add 30 plus 60, you're going to get 90 degrees. And this 90 degrees, we need to convert it into hours by dividing it by 15, because we know that 1 hour is equal to 15 degrees. So we are going to get 6 hours. Okay? 6 hours is the time difference between the two places. So to find the actual time, at K, when we are at L, K is on the eastern side of L, so time increases as we go to the east. So we're going to add 6 hours to 12. So we're going to have 12, then we add 6 hours here. So we're going to get 18 hours. So the people at K will be listening to the program or to the quiz at 18 hours. Okay? Then we go on to this other question here. The question continues the other side. What is the distance between L and K? What is this distance here in kilometers? So I'm sure you know that LK in distance is going to be theta 360 multiplied by 2 pi and radius and then cos theta. So this one, it is the same as the degree that we already got, which is 90. So this is going to be 90 over 360 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 22 over 7 multiplied by 6, 3, 7 multiplied by cos 0 degree. Okay? The degree on the latitude where the 2 points lie. Okay? So this we can simplify it here as 1 over 90 here, it's 4 times multiplied by 2. Okay? Then multiplied by 22. Let's see if 7 can go into this number. 7 into 69, 7 into 63. 7 into 63, it's 9. 7 into 7, it's 1. So this is what we're going to have. Cos 0 is equal to 1. Alright? Cos 0 is equal to 1. Are we together? Cos 0 is equal to 1. Then we can go on here and say 2 here, it's 2, 2 here, it's 1. 2 here, it's 1, 2 here, it's 11. So we have 11 multiplied by 910. What do we get here? Okay? Let us see what we get. This is going to give us 1010 kilometers. Okay? This is going to give us 10,010 kilometers, isn't it? This is going to give us 10,010 kilometers. That is what we're going to have here. So we go to question 10. We go to question 10. We go to question 10. And question 10 reads, the probability that Champalesa will go for remedial lessons on a particular day is the 7 over 10. What is the probability that she will not go for remedial work? So the probability of going for the remedial work and that of not going for the remedial work should add up to 1. Okay? So to find the other probability, we need to subtract what we have been given from 1. So what we're going to say is the probability of not going. The probability of not going is equal to 1 minus the probability of what? Going. When you subtract this, it's going to give you 3 over 10. That is what is going to be our answer. Are we together? That is what we're going to get. Then we go to the last part of question 10. Question 10 is, so we have b. 10x is equal to, we need to rewrite this part. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is going to be 1 over, are we together? This is what we are going to get. So you go on and rewrite this as 1 to the power 10 to the power 4. This we write it. Then this we can go on and say this is equal to, I'm sure now you know that this will be like that. Okay? That is what we are going to write it, isn't it? That is how it's going to. Then at this point, when the base is the same, you equate the what? The indices. So we're going to have x is equal to negative 4. So this is the question for, this is the answer for 10b. So now I want to take you to question 11. Okay, so let's look at question 11. So question 11a reads, given that the universal set has 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and 12, and set A has 4, 8, and 12, then set B has 2, 10, and 12. List A complement intersection B. Okay, so we are looking at elements that are not in A, but they are there in B. Elements that are not in A, but they are there in B. So that is what we are looking at here. Elements that are not in A, but they are there in B. That is what that means. So we are going to say the first one here, our answer is the elements are 2 and 10. Elements are 2 and 10. Okay? Those are the elements that are not in A, but they are there in B. That is what that means. So we come to B. B reads, the diagram below is a sector with the center O and radius 7 centimeters. The angle at O is 270 degrees. Calculate the area of, okay, so B, I'm sure you know that the area of a sector is given by theta over 360 multiplied by pi r squared. Okay, so theta is given as 270 over 360 multiplied by, what is our pi? Our pi is 22 multiplied by, radius is 7 and 7. Okay, we need to square radius, take note of that. So at this point then we can simplify this. So how do we simplify? 90 here, it's 3. 90 here, it's 4. Multiplied by 22. This 7 and that one. So we have 7. Okay? Are we together? Then 2 here, it's 2. 2 here, it's 11. So we have 3 multiplied by 11 multiplied by 7 over 2. Okay? Okay, so when you multiply 3 multiplied by 11 by 7, what are we getting? We're going to get 231 over 2. So when you divide 231 divided by 2, what are you going to get? You're going to get 115.5. That's what you're going to get. Okay? So we move on to the second question. To question 12. We move on to question 12. Question 12. The functions f and g are defined by f of x is equals to 2x plus 1 and g of x is equals to 5x minus 1. Find the inverse of what? Find the inverse of g. That's the first question. So I can write this one here. So a is equals to, how do we find the inverse here? Remember the first thing we said, you need to do what? To say y is equals to 5x minus 1. Take note, this is a minus here. Okay? Then, what are we saying? Now we are going to say, we need to make this x the subject of the formula. The x here should be the subject, so it will be plus 1 is equals to 5x. So we divide both sides by 5. So we're going to have x is equals to what? Y plus 1 over 5. That's what you're going to get. Then to write the final inverse now of g, it's going to be, while there is x here, what do we put? We put back the x here. So we're going to have x plus 1 over 5. That is the inverse here. So what we're going to write here is x plus 1 over 5. That's the answer. And we go to b. So we can solve our b from here. So this is a composite function, meaning f of g. So g, the function g has to go into f. So we're going to have f of gx is equals to 2. Okay? 2x. So here where there is x, what are we going to put? We're going to put the function of g. Then we have plus 1. So we have 10x minus 2 plus 1. So this is going to give us 10x minus 1. Okay? That's what we're going to get there, 10x minus 1. So that is what we're going to write here, 10x minus 1. Then we have, in the same composite function, okay, which is C now, in the same composite function, which is this one, okay, which is this one. So minus, so we are told that here where there is x, this position of x, now we are putting -3. So meaning even this side where we have x, we're going to put -3 minus 1. So this is going to give us -30 minus 1. And this is going to give us -31. So even as here, we're going to write -31. Okay, so this is the answer here. All right. So question 13a reads, the kite in the diagram in the answer space has coordinates 0, 0, 2, 1, 5, 0, and 2, -1. Draw the image of the kite after a reflection in the line y is equals to x. Y is equals to x. So y is equals to x. Y is equals to x. Okay? Y is equals to x. Where is y is equals to x? Y is equals to x is this, where we have the same coordinates. For instance, if we're talking about this point here, let me give an example. This point here, this is -4, -4. We can also come this side. When I'm on this point, what is this point? This is 5, -y. The y coordinate is the same as the x coordinate and vice versa. Okay? So this is what we mean by this. This here is what we mean by what? By the, maybe we can put the dot. This is what we mean by the, what's this? Okay, so this is y is equals to x. Okay, so this is what is going to be our mirror line. This is what is going to be our mirror line. So what we do with the reflection in this case is, if this is our mirror line, we're just going to start these coordinates, we'll swap them. Okay, we're going to swap them to find the image. So in this case, this is 0, 0, it will be the same. Then the second one, this is 2, 2. So in the image, we're going to have 1, 2. 1, 2 is going to be this coordinate here. Okay, then the second one, we have 5, 0. So in the image, we are going to have 0, 5. 0, 5, where is it? It's this point here. Then the last one, we have 2, -1. So in the image, we are going to have -1, 2. -1, 2 is this one here. So we try to join. Try to join these. Okay? Try to join these. Okay, so this is what our image is going to look like. Okay, so we can proceed and find the second one. B is find the derivative of y is equals to that, which is the same as differentiate. To differentiate, we are finding the derivative. So how do we do that? So B, you know that we're going to have B is equals to dy dx is equals to, okay, we are going to say we multiply this index by the coefficient, which is going to be, when you multiply 3 by 1/3, we're just going to get what? 1. So we'll remain with just 3 here. We'll remain with 1 coefficient. Okay, so what I mean is that when we multiply 3 by 1/3, then we say x 3 minus 1. Then here we have again minus 2 multiplied by 5, then x 2 minus 1 minus, what is the coefficient here? It's 1 multiplied by 2, which is x 1 minus 1. All right, So what are we going to get here? This is what I was saying. So this is going to give us 3 into 3, it will be 1. So you are remaining with x to the power 2 minus 10x minus 2. Okay? That is what we are going to get here. So our answer is x squared minus 10x minus 2. That is our answer there. So question 14 reads, two boats X and Y leave port P at the same time. X travels on a bearing of 159 degrees and Y travels on a bearing of 215 degrees as shown in the diagram below. After some time, X and Y are at points such that angle PYX is equals to 41 degrees. The diagram is there. Find the bearing of X from Y. Find the bearing of X from Y. So the bearing of X from Y, is here. We need to put a north. Here we need to put a north. Okay. So this is the bearing of X from Y is this one. This is the bearing of X from Y. Okay. So what are we supposed to do? So here we need to find this angle. Once we have known this angle, we add it to this one. Then we'll be able to find it. What's this? The bearing of X from Y. So to make our work easier, we should be able first of all to find this angle here. Let's find this angle here. How are we going to find this angle? You subtract 215. You subtract 215 from 360 degrees. Okay. So when we subtract 215 from 360, we're going to get 145. So this angle here is 145. Now, we should also know that this same angle that we found and this same one and this one that we are looking for here, they are angles on the same side of a transversal. They are allied angles. So allied angles add up to 180. So when you subtract this angle from 180, what are you going to get? You're going to get 35. So now we have the angle that we are looking for. So to find the entire angle here, which is the bearing of X from Y, you need to add 35 plus 41. What are you going to get? Okay. So our answer here, as you know, this is a 3-digit, okay, bearing, or we are supposed to have 3 digits here. So when we add this, we get 76. So you need to have this. Okay, that's what is going to be our answer here. So we're going to have 0 degrees. And the second one is the bearing of P from X. The bearing of P from X. Again, we do the same thing here. We need to have a north at this point. We need to have a north here. Okay. So the bearing of what? The bearing of P from X. So the bearing of P from X, it's this one here. That's the bearing of P from X. So the easiest that we can do here is to find this smaller angle here. And how do we find this smaller angle? Again, this 150 degrees, 159 degrees, and this same smaller angle that I'm talking about, they're allied angles. They're on the same side of a transversal, so they should add up to 180. So to find this smaller angle here, you subtract 159 from 180 degrees. That's what you're supposed to do. So when you subtract this angle from 180, you are going to get 21. So this is 21. But we do not want this part. We want this degree from this point up to this one. So you subtract 21 from 360 degrees. So 360 degrees minus 21 degrees. Okay. So what are we going to get here? Here you are going to get 339 degrees. That will be your answer there. Okay. So this takes us to the 15th question. Okay, so the 15th question reads, Misozi and Firamba estimated the length of a limit to be 9 centimeters and 10 centimeters respectively. If the true length of the line was 9.6, find Misozi's absolute error. Find Misozi's absolute error. So we are saying A, absolute error is equals to recorded value minus true value. Okay? So if the true length, so the true length was 9.6 centimeters. So what was the recorded value for Misozi? Misozi is the first one, so we are talking about 9. So this is going to be 9 minus 9.6. Now, because of these bars, these indicate an absolute value. So whatever you're going to get in the brackets, whether negative or positive, it must come out as a what? As a positive. So this is going to give us negative. It's going to give us positive. When you subtract, what are you going to get? This must be able to give us 0.6. That's what we're going to get here. 0.6. So this is 0.6. Then Firamba's percentage error. So I'm sure you know that percentage error is equals to relative error multiplied by 100%. So the relative error is found by absolute error over true value, then multiplied by 100. So we need to find the absolute error of Firamba. What is the absolute error of Firamba? Again, we are going to do the subtraction here. Again, we are going to do the subtraction. Okay? So, absolute error, we're going to subtract. Because we said absolute error is equals to what? True value or recorded value. In this case, the recorded value is 10 minus 9.6 over the true value, which is 9.6 multiplied by 100. So here, what do we get? Here we're going to get 0.4 over 9.6 multiplied by 100. So here we can get rid of the decimals by saying you multiply both of them by 10. So we're going to have 4 over 96 multiplied by 100. Okay. So we can begin to simplify this. So here I can say 4 into 9, it's 2. Remember 1, 4 into 6, 16, it's what? It's 4. Okay. Then we said again, 4 here, it's 1. So we continue with 1 over 24 multiplied by 100. Again, we are saying 4 here, it's 6. 4 here, it's 25. So here you are getting 25 over 6%. So that is what you're going to get there. 25 over 26%. So we can say 25 over 26%, or you can divide this here. What are you going to get? You are going to get 4 whole number 1 over 6. Okay, that's what you're going to get, percent. All right. So question 16. It is given that T is equals to K V squared, where K is the constant. So we can look at the table. Use the information given in the table to find the value of K. All right, so we need to look at the table here. We need to look at a point where T and V have the numbers. So which is this first one here. So when T is equals to 4, V is equals to 1. So we can say T is equals to, that is A, T is equals to K V squared. So when T is equals to 4 here, okay, when T is equals to 4, then K, what is our V? Our V is 1. So this is going to give you K is equals to 4. So K is equals to 4. Okay, that is the first one. K is equals to 4. It's already given here. Then the second one, so now we can write this as T is equals to, what is our K? 4V squared. Okay, so that's the equation that we're going to be using now. So find the value of A. So find the value of A. What is A? A is a T value. A is a T value. So we're going to say A is equals to 4 multiplied by V squared. A multiplied by 4 multiplied by V squared. So what is the V value? V value is what? It's 5, isn't it? So we need to multiply by 5 squared. 5 squared is the same as 25. So 25 multiplied by 4, we're going to get 100. So this is going to give us 100. Okay? Then we can have C. C wants us to find the value of B. The value of B. Now, when you look at B, B is a V coordinate. B is a V coordinate. Are we together? So we are saying T is equals to K and D V. So I'm saying that B is a V coordinate. Okay? So we are going to say that what is the value of T here that corresponds to B is 36 multiplied is equals to 4 multiplied by B squared. Okay, B has taken the position of V. So this means we need to divide both sides by 4. Okay, so this is going to give us B squared is equals to 9. And then the actual B, we need to take the root plus and minus of 9, which is going to give us plus or minus 3. Those are the coordinates of, those are the values of B. So even as you can see on the answer part, we have 2 slots. So we have 3 or negative 3. Okay. So we go to the next one, which is question 17. So question 17 reads, in the diagram below, A, B, C, D, E, and F are points on the circumference of the of a circle. F, B, D is equal to 70, and A, E, F is equal to 20. Explain why AD is a diameter. Where's AD? Explain why AD is a diameter. So maybe before we look at that, the easiest thing that I always want to do is that even before we look at let's find the angles that we can easily find. And here you're going to discover that one of the easiest angles to find is this is 20, so this angle is also 20. These are angles in the same segment. This is 70, this one is also 70. Okay, so that is that angle there. So I think these are the easiest angles that we can find. So then let's come to explain why AD is a diameter. What is a diameter? A line that divides the circle into 2 equal parts. And in circle theorem, in this is justified by, do we have, because we say the angle in the semicircle is 90 degrees. So do we have any angle which is 90 degrees in the semicircle? Yes. after we worked out these two, we found out that angle ACD is equal to 90 degrees. So this is an angle, okay, angle in the semicircle. Okay, so that is justified there. That is justified there. All right. So then we come to find ACF. ACF, we found it as what? 20. ACF, we found it as 20. Then DEF. DEF. Okay, so this whole angle here, when we look at this thing as, forget about this whole things, where we are going to treat this 70, okay, where we are going to say CDEF is a cyclic quadrilateral, okay, where we're going to say this is a cyclic quadrilateral. And then this will mean that DEF, okay, when we add it to 70, okay, we are supposed to get 90. We're supposed to get what? 90 here. All right? We're supposed to get 180 when this angle and this one, they're added. They're supposed to give us what? 180. So how do we find DEF? This whole angle here. Now, this whole angle here, we already have what? 20. We already have 20. So the only thing that we are supposed to do now, we can subtract this one from 110, because this angle here, which is 70, and this whole angle here, they should add up to 180. Why? They are opposite angles in a cyclic quadrilateral. Okay? So we are going to say this is equals to 180 minus 70 degrees. And this is going to give us 110. So this is 20 degrees. This is 110 degrees. Okay? We come to question 18. Question 18 reads, which is A. It is given that triangle PQR below is right angled at R. QR is equals to 4 centimeters and tan, okay, tan QPR, tan QPR is equals to 4 over. So as you may know that tan, okay, tan is equals to opposite over adjacent. So in this case, the opposite is 4. So this one is our 3, which is the adjacent in this case. Now, if this is a right angle triangle, you know that we can use Pythagoras theorem. And when you use Pythagoras theorem, we are going to get that PQ is equals to the square root of, the square of, we square 4 and square 3. This is going to give us 25. When you square these, when you find the square root of 25, it will give you 5. So this is supposed to be 5. So now, what do we want to find? Here we want to find sine PQR. Sine PQR. Sine PQR, meaning this angle here. That's the angle that we want to find. Okay? So sine is equals to what? Sine theta is equals to opposite over hypotenuse. So in this case, what is our opposite? The opposite to this angle is 3. 3 over hypotenuse, which is 5. So that is what we are going to indicate here, 3/5. We come to B. B reads, the ratio of the surface areas of two cubes is 16:25. What is the volume of the smaller cube if the volume of the larger cube is 500 centimeters cubed? Okay, so the ratios that were given, these are the ratios for the area. Okay, so the ratios for the area, we need to find the square root in order to go back to the original ratios. So this is going to give us 4, and this is going to give us 5. All right, so after we have gotten these now, we need to proceed and say 4/5 is equals to, now we are dealing with the ratios of volume, so we need to find a cube of each one of these. Then this is equals to, here, this is for the smaller and for the larger. So the question says, what is the volume of the smaller? So this x represents the volume of the smaller. Then here we've got 5. Okay, so when you expand this, it's going to be 64. This is going to be 125. This is equals to x over 500. So this is going to break down as you cross multiply. When you cross multiply, you're going to get 125x is equals to 64 multiplied by 500. So x is equals to 64 multiplied by 500 divided by 125. Okay, so when you work out this, you are going to discover that when you multiply this and divide, by the way, you can say 64 multiplied by 125 into 500, it will give us 4. Okay, then when you multiply 64 by 4, it is going to give you 256 centimeters cubed. Okay, so we can move on to the next question, which reads, a businessman, that is A businessman bought 300 company shares at 60 kwacha. The nominal price was 30 kwacha. How much does he pay for the shares? Okay, so here what we are supposed to do, which is a businessman bought how many shares? 300 shares. Multiplied by the price per share. So this question reads, a businessman bought 300 company shares at 60 kwacha. So this is not the price for the each share. As it reads here, a businessman bought 300 company shares. These 300 company shares were bought at 60 kwacha. Okay, so how much does he pay for them? If the question was as it is, then the amount is going to be the same 60 kwacha, unless if the question was corrected. But as it is, because we are told that these shares were bought at what? Not as in each. So that is what is going to be our amount, or unless if the question had issues. B, the equation of a straight line. The equation of the straight line L is given by 2y is equals to 4x minus 5. Find the equation of the line passing through -3, -2, 3 and perpendicular to. Okay, so what we are supposed to do for B is first of all to find the gradient of this one. So to find the gradient of this one, we need to make y the subject of the formula. We need to make y the subject of the formula. So that will mean y is equals to, we divide throughout by what? By 2. So is equals to 4x divided by 2 minus 5 divided by 2. Divided by 2. So our concentration at this point is the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x is our gradient. And I'm sure you know that the coefficient of x is 4 over 2, which it divides into 2. So the gradient that we want is 2. Okay? The gradient that we want here is 2. So now, remember, we want the equation of another line which passes through this point and it is perpendicular to what? This line. So when the two lines are perpendicular to each other, gradient 1 and gradient 2 must give us a product of gradient 1 and gradient 2 must give us a product of negative 1. Okay, so the number that we can multiply to 2 in order to get negative 1 is negative 1 over 2. So this is the gradient that we are going to use to find the equation of this line. So remember, of course, we use the formula y minus y1 x. Oh, sorry, we should have m here. There should be m here. Then x minus x1. So we have, this is now these are the coordinates that we're going to use. So we have y minus 3 is equals to negative 1 over. So we are using this other gradient now. Then x minus. Now we have a minus, and also on the coordinate we have a minus. So I think it would be fair to just add them so that we lessen our work. So at this point we can cross multiply. The denominator we multiplied by this part, 6 is equals to, here we remain with negative 1. So it will be negative x minus 2. So we can rearrange this by saying 2y plus x is equals to, here we have negative 2, take note. So negative 2 plus 6, that is going to give us 4. Negative 2 plus 6, that is going to give us 4. So the equation here is 2y plus x is equals to 4. Okay, that is the equation. So we come to question 20. The diagram below shows a cone with apex V and radius R. How many planes of symmetry has the cone? How many planes of symmetry has the cone? Planes of symmetry. In how many ways can we cut this thing and produce two identical figures? So for a cone, we say it has many or uncountable or infinite. Okay, so I can say uncountable. Okay, I can say uncountable, like infinite. There are many. Okay, so we come to B. B reads, the diagram below is an incomplete program flowchart to calculate the curved surface area of a cone with base radius R and the slant height L. Complete the flowchart below by writing appropriate statements in the blank spaces. So the first thing that we're supposed to know here is, how do we write, what is the formula? Okay, this is the formula for the curved surface. Okay, so what are we entering here? We're going to enter R and L. Okay, then we can't enter pi. Pi is already in the computer system. So here we're going to say S, which is the curved surface, is equals to pi. Now we bring pi multiplied by R multiplied by L. That is our answer here. So we move on to the next question. Okay, so question 21 reads, write down the 4 inequalities that define the unshaded region on the diagram below. So here we need to pay particular attention and look at, we can start with the simplest here. They are supposed to be 4, of course. So we can start with this one. As you can see, this one is dotted. Okay, this is dotted here. This is dotted. And it is cutting the x-axis. So we're going to say the first one is x. We want the region where there is R. Is what? Is greater than, what is this? Negative 1. Okay, That's what we are supposed to have here. So x is greater than -1 because this is a dotted line, so we just use this. Then we can come to this one. Okay, so on this one we are looking at the region below or less than, so we're going to say the second one is or we can bring them here. We have x -1, the other one is going to be x is less than or equal to what? 4 there. Okay, it's cutting through 4. Then we have this one also here, which cuts the y-axis, and the region below is less, so we're going to say y is less than or equal to 6. Okay, then we have the last one, which is this one here. So this one, what are we supposed to do? We need to pick 2 points along this point and find the gradient. Okay, so we can easily get this coordinate here, which is 0, negative 0, -2, and this other one here also, which is 2, 0. Then we find the gradient using these 2 points. The gradient is y2, which is 0, minus y1. Okay, so because of the minus here, we are going to add. Then we have also now x2, which is 2, minus x1, which is 0. So we're going to have 2 over 2, which is going to give us 1. So the gradient is going to be 1. So after we have found the gradient, now we can write the equation where we say 1. We have written the equation. Okay, we've written the equation the other side. So we say 1 y minus y1. So here we can pick these coordinates. What is our y1? Our y1 is 0. Is equals to our gradient. What is our gradient? Our gradient is 1. Then x minus, what is our x1? Our x1 is 2. So y is equals to x minus 2. This is what we are looking at. Okay, so take note. It can also be written as, okay, in terms of an equation. Now we want the inequality. So the region that is on top here, it is greater than, and the line is dotted. So the fact that the line is dotted, then we are going to say y minus x is greater than -2. Okay. Okay, so question 22, which is the second last question, reads, part A, if y is equals to 1 minus 2x multiplied by 1 plus x minus 2. Find the values of x for which y is equals to -2. Okay, so we need to solve this as an equation. So where there's, I'm going to write it just here. So we are saying where there is y here, we need to put -2. So we're going to say -2 is equals to 1 minus 2x, 1 plus x minus 2. Okay, so we can put the like terms together. When this one comes the other side, it is going to be -2 plus 2. So that is going to give us a 0. Okay, so that's going to give us a 0. Minus 2x, 1 plus x. So we need to equate each one of these factors to 0. So we can start with the first one. We can say 0 is equals to 1 minus 2x. Okay, what do we get? This will mean 0 minus, this one has to come this side. Then we remain with -2x. Okay, this is going to give us -1, the -2x. So you divide by -2, you divide by -2. So x is equals to 1 over 2. Okay, don't forget that we have the another part here, which is what? I can bring it down here because we don't have space. So the other part is 1 plus x is equals to 0. I said both of them must be equated to 0. So this is going to be x is equals to 0 minus 1. So x is equals to negative 1. So the values of x are 1 over 2 or negative 1. Here, the values of x. Okay, so we look at this, the part B. The sketch below, the sketch shown below represents a section of the curve y is equals to x multiplied by x minus 2. Find the coordinates of the points where the curve cuts the x-axis, sorry. Find the coordinates of the points where the curve cuts the x-axis. So, what does this mean? So we have B1, where the curve cuts the x-axis, which is this one. What is the y-coordinate? The y-coordinate is equals to 0. So we are going to write this equation and put 0 here where there is a y. So we're going to say x minus 2 is equals to 0. So how do we solve this kind of an equation? The first value is going to be x is equals to 0, or x minus 2 is equals to 0. So x is equals to 0, or x is equals to 2. That's what we're going to get here. Okay? So find the coordinates of the points where the curve cuts the x-axis. So the first one is the origin, of course, here, which is 0, 0, if you like. Those coordinates will be 0, 0, the first one. Then the second one here, which is like the point for A. The point for A here, which is A. It will be, the coordinates will be this one, which is 2, 0, because the y coordinates are both zeros. Okay? That's what we are going to get there. All right? So then we can try to find what is the minimum value of the function. What is the minimum value of the function? Okay, so the minimum value of the function, what are we supposed to do here? Maybe the easiest is, first we can expand this one and get what? X squared minus 2x. So I would want us to find, first of all, we find the x value, which we can easily substitute here, where we use this formula, sorry, minus b over 2a. This gives us always the x value that we can substitute now into the, to find the, I do not want us to use that formula for the y coordinate. So here, our b is negative 2. Here we have a negative and this negative on the formula, so we're going to have 2 plus 1. Here the coefficient is 1, so 2 multiplied by a, which is 1, it will be 2. So we have 1 is the x coordinate. Okay, so to find the minimum value now, we replace that. So here we're going to have 1 squared minus 2 multiplied by 1. So this is giving us 1 minus 2, and this is going to give us negative 1. So this is going to give us negative 1 here. That's what you're going to get. Okay, y is equals to question 23, which is the last one, reads, the diagram below shows a speed time graph of a car journey. Okay, this is the diagram, and these are the questions. Okay, these are the questions, and that's the diagram. So the first question says, find the acceleration during the first 5 seconds. Find the acceleration during the 5 seconds. So A is equals to, acceleration is equals to V minus U over time. So this is going to give us, V is the final velocity, which is 30 minus 0 over time. And what is our time? Time is 5 here. Okay, so we are going to get 30 minus 0, it gives us 30, divided by 5, we get 6. Okay, that is what is going to be our acceleration here. Then the second one, if the total distance traveled was 825, find the value of t. Find the value of t. Okay, so meaning here we are going to use the graph. When you are dealing with the distance, you need to find the area under the graph. So we're going to use the trapezium method. Distance is equal to 1 over 2 a plus b multiplied by h. So distance here has been given as what? The distance has been given as 825. Okay, what is our h? So our h is the height, which is from this point up to that one, and that is 30. 1 over, these are the two parallel sides, the longer one and the shorter one. So the longer one here, as you can see, from 5 to 15, it's the shorter one is 10. Then the longer one from 0 up to t, we can use t here. Okay, so I'm going to say 2 into 15, 2 into 30 is 15. Then 10 plus t is equals to 825. All right. Okay. Then if I want, again at this point, I can divide both sides by 15, even this side by 15. 15, so we remain with 10 plus t is equals to, here you get 55. Then t is equals to 55 minus 10. So t is going to give you 45. So the value of t is equals to 45 seconds. Okay. So find the average speed for the whole journey. Now the average speed for the whole journey is, you need to do speed, which is c. Speed is equals to distance over time. So distance is 825, and then the speed is 45. So you can divide this. What do you get? Okay, you're going to get 18 remainder 15 over 45, and this can be reduced to 18 1 over 3. Okay, so this is what we are going to get. Distance 1 over 3 here. Distance is, what are we finding? Speed. Okay, so that is what we're going to get as speed. All right, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Give us some comments on how best we can improve the lessons. Once again, thank you very much.